Welcome to Talent Titans, the podcast where we bring you entrepreneurs and leaders from the global staffing industry. I'm your host, Suki Sodi. Now let's jump right on in and welcome today's Titan. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Talent Titans. And today, we're tackling a subject that is fundamental to success in this industry, the power of the niche. In a field flooded with generalist agencies, all chasing the same clients and candidates, I'm here to argue that the path to standing out, building a sustainable business, and of course earning higher fees lies in specialization. It's about drilling down and owning a piece of the talent market, your little corner there. So today, we're going to explore why becoming a specialist recruiter is one of the most powerful strategies to elevate yourself from a resume pusher to a true talent titan. But let's start with defining exactly what does a niche look like in recruiting. Simply put, it means moving away from the we fill any role for any company model. It's the difference between being a general IT recruiter and being the go-to recruiter for DevOps engineers within the FinTech space, for example. It's specializing in placing pharmaceutical sales reps in the Northeast or bilingual executive assistants within the legal sector. I get it. There's that fearful voice in the back of your mind constantly telling you, if I specialize, I'm cutting myself off from potential job orders. I'll miss opportunities. It feels kind of counterintuitive, but the most successful recruiters I know have proven this fear to be wrong. And here's why. First and foremost, specialization grants you that instant credibility, that authority. When you live and breathe a particular market niche, you develop this depth of knowledge. You understand the jargon, who the key players are, the salary benchmarks, how the careers work, and those subtle differences between a good and a great candidate that a generalist would completely miss. Think about it from the client's perspective. If you're a hiring manager looking for at those critical mission roles, such as a chief information security officer, for example, are you going to trust the agency that yesterday sent you an admin manager's resume? Or are you going to trust that specialist who speaks your language, has curated a network of security professionals? You become a partner, not just a vendor. And this authority directly translates into your ability to command those higher fees and negotiate better terms that work for you. When you're the expert with a proven network into hard-to-fill niche, you are no longer competing on 15% fees. You can confidently negotiate 25, 30, hell, even move into a retained search model. So why is this? It's because you're not just providing a service, you are providing a strategic solution. You offer speed, precision, access to passive talent that your clients cannot find on their own, or they know who they are, but they can't seem to get them to the table. But let's talk about the competition for a moment. The generous recruitment world is a red ocean, kind of like full of sharks fighting over the same scraps. It's a high volume, low margin race to the bottom. Now, let me be clear. If that's your space, own it. But don't expect those mission critical high salary roles to come your way. And that's okay, because you're playing in the lane you're choosing. But when you specialize, you exit those bloody waters. You're no longer competing with every other agency in your city. Your competition shrinks to a handful of experts, and you become this big fish in a smaller, much more profitable pond. You become known. Hiring managers, top tier candidates in your niche, they start to seek you out. This leads to one of the biggest advantages. You become a magnet for talent. Your marketing, your sourcing efforts become incredibly focused and highly effective. So instead of aimlessly scrolling through thousands of LinkedIn profiles, you know exactly which professional groups to join, which industry events that you should be attending, what content you need to create to attract the right people, both clients and candidates. Now, let's not forget the passive candidates, the A players who aren't actively looking. They'll be taking your call. Why, you ask? Well, it's because they've seen your name, they've read your insightful posts about their industry, and they see you as a true career advisor who understands their particular world, not just another recruiter with a vague, I've got an exciting opportunity for you. This focused approach, it'll allow you to build a true talent community, a true pool. You are no longer just filling a single job. You're building these long-term relationships. You might place a software developer in a junior role, and then you help them find their senior and lead positions years later. These candidates become loyal to you. Why do they become loyal to you? It's because you've built this trust. And most importantly, they refer their other high caliber colleagues to you, creating this self sustaining pipeline of amazing talent. But I have to be balanced here. The primary risk of specialization is putting all your eggs in one basket. What happens if your niche industry suddenly faces a downturn? And I get it, it's a fair concern. So let's use an example. Let's say you're specializing exclusively in placing business development people into the real estate sector. Well, the last couple of years have been really tough. This is why your choice of niche is so critical. It should be based on market demand, your genuine interest, and of course, future potential growth. Even within a niche, the key is to be an expert, not a one trick pony. A top FinTech recruiter can adapt to shift from blockchain to AI within the financial services landscape. Your expertise is the foundation, but you must always be learning and continuously evolving. Now, I want to bring this home with a personal story about my transition and how I got into Rec to Rec. And I want to stick with LinkedIn as an example. I choose to be a closed networker, meaning I only accept those invites from people related to the global recruitment industry. Of course, there's few exceptions, such as my husband and close friends. This means my post engagement might not be as high as somebody who's an open networker. But I promise you this, pretty much everyone that I engage with on LinkedIn is either a potential client, candidate, or a business partner. This in return lets everybody know that my team and I are the experts in the global rec to rec space, the go-to people. So to wrap this up, if you're a recruiter or an agency owner feeling stretched thin, struggling to differentiate yourself, I urge you to look at the power of niche recruiting. Stop trying to be all things to all clients. Stop competing on price. Instead, find that intersection market where your passion and business meet. Become that disruptor, expert in your field. build a community. The results just isn't more profitable business, it's an impactful career and you enjoy it. You'll move from filling jobs to shaping careers and building companies. And that's the beauty of our industry. We can pivot when we want to pivot. When we are specializing, people truly recognize our value, our expertise. We don't just command the high fees because we turn something, a role around in a couple of days. No, those fees aren't for that part. Those fees are for sometimes the months, if not years, of relationship and trust building you have done with those passive candidates in order to get them to that stage. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're thinking of specialization within your business or on your desk, feel free to give me a call and we can chat about it further. I will see you in the next episode of Talent Titans. Thank you for listening to this episode of Talent Titans, brought to you by Recruitment Professional Forum, where they're building a grassroots community for professionals and leaders in the recruitment industry to collaborate, advocate, and advance the profession. If you liked or were inspired by what you heard, make sure to follow, subscribe, and even leave a review. It lets more talented recruiters like you find the show. Until next time, keep on being a talent titan.